Okay, let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. So hopefully you feel well dyan sa bahay ninyo or saan naman kayo. Okay, medyo hyper ako ngayon. Nakainom ako ng kape. Okay, so let's begin. I usually don't drink coffee pero ngayon lang kasi may class tayo. Okay, so we're now going to talk about the first topic ng second exam, namely derivatives, differentiation rules, and higher order derivatives. Tignan natin kung hanggang saan matapos natin dito. Now, the idea here, um, may, hmm, it's a special kind of limit. Limit pa rin ito, pero, kumbaga, katulad ng mga squeeze theorem, yung sin x over x, of course, limit problem din to, pero i-assume na natin na 1, i-ano na natin, tatanggapin na natin 1 yon. Okay? Tatanggapin na natin 1 yon. Hindi natin ipoprove na hindi na tayo mag-epsilon delta and everything like that. So may mga bagong theorems tayo about dito. Okay, yun yung first part. The second part is, saan ba nanggaling ang concept ng derivatives? Now, ito yata ang isa sa mga mathematical concept na ang daming motivation behind it. So, yung mga magiging application natin sa third exam, sila actually yung nag-motivate for the abstract idea behind derivatives. Sa third exam natin sila ma-encounter. Pero for now, abstract muna yung makikita natin dito, tsaka isang motivation. At ito yung motivation behind it. The geometric motivation. Okay, geometry muna. Kasi kung maalala ninyo, ang concept talaga ng differentiation, mas I believe na una ang differentiation before limits. Mas nauna ito. Ang differentiation si Isaac Newton ang nakaimbento. Okay? So simultaneous yung alam mo yung very yung very famous na nagkaroon ng Black Plague ba yun? O bubonic plague? Basta one of the letter B na plague, sinarado yung Cambridge University, may nagka-pandemic sila, na-board siya, ginawa niya yung Principia. Ano nga pala yung, basta yung, the Principia. Yun, yung ginawa niya yung buong physics tsaka calculus. Na-board lang siya. Inimbento niya yung buong physics tsaka calculus, yung Newtonian mechanics. And in fact, hindi ito yung niya, hindi ito yung motivation niya, hindi physics ang motivation niya behind. Ay, hindi. Hindi tangent line to a circle ang motivation niya. Later development pa ito. Okay? So, babalikan din natin yung naging motivation ni Isaac Newton yung 16th century, 17th century. I don't know kung anong century yan. We'll ask one po si Enrile. Pero ang gagamitin muna natin, geometric or mathematical motivation behind the concept of differentiation. So ano ba ang differentiation? And bakit differentiation ang pangalan nito? We'll answer that sa third exam. Before the third exam. So, consider the tangent line to a circle at a point P. So may circle tayo, and then meron tayong line dito. Yan. Now, we call this particular line na nagta-touch sa isang point tangent line. Okay? Okay, tangent line, basta it touches one point. Now, for you to easily remember that, uh, galing, related siya sa term sa Filipino term, yung, no, hindi siya Filipino. What do you call this one? Spanish. No limit tangere. Okay? Tangere. Tangent means to touch. So you're just touching at one point. So you just touch at one point. Kaya tangere or tangent, Latin for to touch. Okay. So ang tanong, i-generalize natin, wag lang circle. What if you just have any random curve? How are we going to define how are we going to define a tangent line to a arbitrary curve? So we have this concept here. So, unahin natin yung concept ng tinatawag secant line. So, we have here a graph nung function natin. Okay. Kasi pagdating ng Math 84, mas i-generalize pa natin to. Hindi na to function. Mas generalize pa yun. But don't worry, sa Math 84 pa yun. For now, ang simple, kasi pag tinignan mo ang circle, hindi naman siya function, di ba? Okay. So, for now, para madali muna yung analysis natin, function muna yung graph natin. So, kapag may function tayo, pwede tayong kumuha ng dalawang points dun sa graph natin. Tapos, ano yung sinabi ni Euclid? Ang sabi ni Euclid, kapag may dalawa kang points sa graph or any 2 points sa Euclidean plane, pwede mong i-connect by a line. So may dalawa kang point, pwede mo i-connect by a line. Okay, anong gagawin natin? So, geometry pa lang ang ginagawa natin. Parang nung first part ng Math 83 natin, puro algebra, no? Algebra versus calculus. Ngayon, it's now algebra versus geometry versus calculus. May pangatlo ng kasama, geometry. So may geometry na tayo. Ngayon, ang sabi nila sabi ng mga mathematicians na nag-formulate itong idea na to. Okay, kasi ang gusto natin tangent line eh. Tangent line, you only touch at one point. Eh, dito for now, you're touching 2 points. So, ang gagawin natin, yung ginawa nilang idea, what if palapitin natin ng palapitin yung Q dun sa P? So, let's take for example, Q1. Ito. So, dahil may panibagong point na naman dito, you can get another line that connects P and Q1. Okay. Okay. So, palapitin pa natin. Kunin mo to Q2. Again, you get another line. Okay? Now, we call that line a secant line because a secant line passes through any 2 points on the curve. Secant line ang tawag natin doon. So, ito muna gagawin natin. May i-associate tayong number sa concept ng secant line at ng tangent line. And you have encountered this number way back in high school. Okay, ano yung number na i-associate natin dito sa secant line? Okay, kumbaga may geometry object ka, ganun yung mga hilig ng mga mathematician. In fact, lahat ng mga nasa STEM field, ganun ang ginagawa. Anytime na meron kang object, kahit hindi geometric object, may ina-associate kang number. Halimbawa, pag may triangle ka, marami tayong mga ina-associate na number dyan. Area, perimeter, ano pa ba? Base, length ng base, length ng height, mga numbers yon. So may i-associate tayong number dito sa line natin. Okay? So ano yung number na yon? That number is what we're going to call the slope of line PQ. Now, ano ang slope of line PQ? Here is the formula. It would be y1 minus y sub 0 over x1 minus x sub 0. Ano tong y1, y sub 0, x1, x sub 0? Yung P, meron siyang coordinate x sub 0, y sub 0. Yung Q, may coordinate siyang y sub 0, y sub 1. Pero given na function tayo, itong y sub 0, equal yan sa f of x sub 0. Tapos itong y1, equal siya sa f of x sub 1. Okay? So, we get here y1 minus y sub 0 over x1 minus x sub 0, or as you call it, rise over run. So, equal ito sa f of x sub 1 minus f of x sub 0 over x1 minus x sub 0. Okay? Okay, so, recollection lang from high school geometry or high school, ano ba to? Geometry siya, no? Okay. Now, what we're going to do, so, etong PQ only for one particular secant line. Remember, yung Q, pinapalakad natin. So, makakakuha tayo ng infinite number of secant lines. Okay. Now, before we analyze those other secant lines, ang gawin muna natin, change of variables lang. So we let delta x to be equal to x sub 1 minus x sub 0. So from here, we get x sub 1 is equal to x sub 0 plus delta x. Pwede mo i-transfer sa kapila yung x sub 0. Now, ito hindi to product ha. Ano lang to, notation lang, delta x. Or ibig sabihin, change in x. So with this in mind, we can replace x sub 1 by x sub 0 plus delta x minus f sub 0 over delta x. So you have two equation or two expressions for slope of a tangent line. Okay? Sorry, slope of the secant line pala. Slope of the secant line. Na ang gagawin natin? Yung Q, papalakarin natin papuntang P. So habang pinapalakad mo yung Q papalapit kay P, in effect, etong si X1 lumalapit kay X sub 0. Okay, lumalapit yan kay X sub 0. So pag lumalapit si Q kay P, lumalapit si X sub 0 si X1 kay X sub 0. So si X1 lumalapit kay X sub 0, ano nangyayari kay delta X? Si delta X, ito yung ano nila, no? Ayan, yan yung distance. Kaya delta X, distance. Distance. Distance of X. So kung ito yung delta X, lumalapit si X1 kay X sub 0, si delta X, ano nangyayari? So si X1 lumalapit kay X sub 0, si delta X, almost 0 na siya. Okay? Kasi lumalapit siya. So yun yung ano, may yung geometry, tapos yung algebra, itong baba, at ito naman yung calculus part, delta X. So what happens here is, as Q gets closer to P, X naught gets closer to X1 gets closer to X naught, delta X approaches 0. So we get this series or sequence of tangent lines. Ay, medyo gumugulo na siya, no? So, habang lumalapit si Q kay P, eventually, yung secant line mo, kasi yung P mo halos dumidikit na sa Q eh. Dumidikit na kay Q, yung P. Yung secant line mo, nagmumukha na siyang tangent line. So, kung ito yung number na associated kay secant line, meron din tayong number na mai-associate kay tangent line. At ang mai-associate natin kay tangent line ay yung slope. Ganda din, slope. Pero meron tayong dagdag na limit lang. Kasi lumalapit na yung x1 kay x0. So we have this definition of the definition of the slope of the tangent line, which is limit of f of x1 minus f of x0 over x1 minus x0 as x1 approaches x0. But given kanina, ito yung ano natin, delta x is equal to x1 minus x0, we can rephrase this expression as limit of f of x0 plus delta x minus f of x0 over delta x as delta x approaches 0. Okay? Remember these two formulas for the rest of your lives. Kasi pagdating sa second exam, papaikot-ikutin natin itong dalawang formulas na ito. Okay? So pareho lang yung dalawang yan. Just be careful about these limits here, yung mga nasa ilalim. So, we call L the tangent line to the graph of F at T. Okay, yan yung buong pangalan niya. So, ibig sabihin, pag meron tayong slope ng tangent line dito, kapag meron itong value, not necessarily numerical value, so pwede ito mag-infinity mamaya. Basta may value ito, nag-e-exist yung tangent line. Okay? Again, importante ito kasi pang true or false question to. Pag meron itong value, pwede itong numerical value or pwede rin itong infinity. Basta may makuhang value dito or infinity, it says existence. Yan na, nag-e-exist. Existence of tangent line. So you have a calculus concept. Meron ka ditong geometry concept. So ang sinasabi, let me check that. Tama. Nag-e-exist yung tangent line. Okay, nag-e-exist yung tangent line kapag meron itong numerical value or kahit infinity value siya. So we have the following definition. If a function f is defined on an open interval containing x equal to x naught, then the tangent line to the graph of f at the point t with coordinates x naught, f of x naught is defined as follows. So ito ang definition niya. The first type is Ang tangent line, it's the line passing through the point P whose slope is given by this formula here, provided this limit exists. Okay, so pag nag-exist yung limit, meron tayong tangent line. On the other hand, the line with equation x is equal to x naught if limit of f of x naught plus delta x minus f of x naught over delta x as delta x approaches zero from the left is equal to plus or minus infinity and, okay, and to ha, and yung delta x approaches zero from the right is equal to plus or minus infinity. So ano ibig sabihin yan? X is equal to x naught. So pag x is equal to x naught, ang itsura mo, pag ganito, vertical line. So x is equal to x naught. So ibig sabihin, pag x is equal to x naught, yung x1 mo, x naught din ito. So makukuha mo, x naught minus x naught, 0. So delta x approaches 0 from the left or from the right. Titignan mo na lang kasi kung magiging ano no, positive infinity or negative infinity. Okay? So, ganito. Kasi baka isipin, ano to eh, ito yung mga pang true or false question. So, ibig sabihin, okay, ito muna last. Otherwise, there is no tangent line to the graph of f. Pag hindi niya na-satisfy yung number 1 or number 2, automatic. Wala kang tangent line sa graph of f at p. So, yun ang definition natin ng tangent line. It's either nag-e-exist yung slope mo, yun yung sinasabi, nag-e-exist yung slope or may infinite slope ka. Okay? So, yun kasi, ang infinite slope, it still says nag-e-exist ang tangent line mo. Kasi mamaya, tatanggalin natin tong isang to. Ito lang ititira natin. Okay? So, again, existence of tangent line, geometry ito, if and only if existence of limit of existence of slope or ano yung isa limit is in plus or minus infinity. Kasi 'di ba yung sa first exam natin kapag ang limit mo plus or minus infinity, automatic limit does not exist. So may dalawa kang scenario kung kailan mag-e-exist itong tangent line natin. Existence of slope or limit is plus or minus infinity. Pero kapag ano, kapag ito hindi na nag-exist, kunyari ang nakuha mo sa delta x approaches 0 from the right, 0 from the left, ay 5 yung from the right, tapos from the left ay 4, so hindi na equal. So ibig sabihin, wala kang graph doon ng wala kang tangent. Okay? Okay, so dalawa ha, dalawa muna for now. Pero ba may tatanggalin natin to para may bago tayong definition. Okay? So, geometrically speaking, ano sinasabi nito? The slope of a tangent line to the graph of f at p gives us an idea on the flatness or steepness of the graph of f at p and whether the graph of rises or falls at p. So, ang minimimic kasi ng tangent line class. So, yung pinakasimpleng graph, which is linear graph, yung line. So, alam natin kapag line, di ba, ang slope lang yan, rise over run. So pag ganito yung graph mo, pababa, it measures kung nag-rise siya or nagfo-fall siya. So clearly, nakikita mo dito, nagfo-fall. Pero pag ganito naman yung graph mo, nag-rise siya. So basically, titignan mo yung trend ng graph mo as the excess, kunyari, as the excess increases. Kunyari, ito yung X1, ito yung X2. Habang lumalaki X1, X2, titingnan mo yung trend ng graph mo. Pababa ba siya or pataas siya? So nakikita mo rito, pababa siya. Paano siya ma-validate na pababa siya? Titignan mo yung trend ng mga tangent line mo. Kumbaga, meron kang concept ng may graph ka, pero i-reduce mo siya sa concept ng tangent line. So titignan mo yung trend ng tangent line. Dahil pababa siya, pababa yung mga tangent line mo. Okay? Falling yung graph mo. More on this pagdating natin sa graph sketching ng mga graphs of a function. So okay lang kahit hindi mo na maalala ito. Dadaanan ulit natin to pag nag-graph sketching na tayo. Number two, the tangent line to the graph of a function may intersect the graph at points other than the point of tangency. Okay. Now, it sounds counterintuitive. Kasi di ba, pag sinabi mo nga tangent, you only touch at exactly one point. Well, tama naman kung circle ang meron ka. Pero kasi ang graph mo, pwedeng ganitong itsura. Tapos, meron kang, ang tangent line mo ito. Pero di ba sabi nga ni Euclid, you can extend any line indefinitely. So pag in-extend mo yan, may possibility, may matamaan ka talaga iba pang points ng graph natin. Pero hindi ito point of tangency. Okay? Hindi ang point of tangency. Ang tawag dito ay intersection point. Okay? Intersection point na yan of the line and the graph. So, yun yung mga encounter natin nung high school. Intersection point ang tawag yan. Ito lang ang point of tangency natin. Okay? Remember, ang tangent point, ito ang definition yan. Yan ang definition ng tangent point. Pag sinolve mo ito using this definition, hindi, iba yung makukuha nating value dito. Iba yung makukuha ang value. Hindi itong, iba ang slope, sa point na to, iba ang slope. Hindi ito yung makukuha mo. Ito yung, ang slope na makukuha mo, hindi associated sa line na yan. Okay? Iba ang makukuha mo. In fact, ang makukuha mong tangent line dito, ito. Yan ang makukuha mo. Kasi ito yung nagda-touch sa. Okay? More on that soon. Pero ang point dito, pwede talagang mag-intersect ang tangent line sa ibang parts ng graph. Okay. Now, let's talk about yung another concept. Kasi kung may tangent line ka, may concept na tinatawag na normal line. Ano ang normal line? The line normal to the graph of a function f at the point P is the line perpendicular to the tangent line P. So, ano ang tangent, ang normal line? So, kung ito yung graph mo, ito yung tangent line mo, yung color red, ang normal line, ito, yung perpendicular sa tangent line mo. So kung perpendicular sila, they make an angle of 90 degrees or pi over 2. Okay? So the question here is, okay, kung line ka, of course, may associated kang number din, yung slope. Ano ang slope ng normal line? As it turns out, ang slope ng normal line, so ang symbol sa slope M, no? Hindi ko na alam ba't M ang slope. Ang slope ng normal line ay equal sa negative reciprocal of the slope of the tangent line. Okay? So, ano to? Slope ng normal line ay negative reciprocal ng slope ng tangent line. That's the formula. So, let's have this first example. Okay. Give equations of the tangent and normal lines to the graph of f of x equal to 1 over x at x equal to 1. Okay. So, pag naghahanap ng tangent and normal lines, ito na, para, anong application na to, part na to? You always start with this part here, yung solution. Ano yung setup natin? Ito ang setup. The point slope form of a line, which is y minus y naught is equal to m times x minus x naught. Okay. So, ang kailangan nating i-fill out dito ay yung numbers na to. Y naught, m, at x naught. Now, the x naught is already given. X naught would correspond to 1. So, 1 ito. So, ang tanong, ano na lang yung m, tsaka ano yung y naught? Yung y naught, it would be the image of 1 sa f, f of 1. So, you get f of 1 is equal to 1 over 1. So, ito ay 1. So, 1 din ito. Now, ano ang m? Well, based on our knowledge, ang m ay equals Ang M, kung tangent line muna, yan yung limit of delta x approaches 0 of f of x naught plus delta x minus f of x naught over delta x. Okay. Pero alam natin yung x naught ay 1. So meron kang 1 plus delta x minus f of 1 all over delta x. So we fill it in. Ano tong 1 over ano tong f of 1 plus delta x? F of 1 plus delta x, that would be 1 over 1 plus delta x minus 1 over 1 all over delta x. Then we simplify the numerator as kunin mo yung LCD, that would be 1 plus delta x kasi over 1 lang ito. So 1 plus delta x. 1 plus delta x times 1 plus, divided by 1 plus delta x, 1 times 1, 1, minus 1 plus delta x divided by 1, that's 1, times 1, 1 plus delta x. Don't forget your parentheses. Then, distribute between negative 1 minus 1. Okay. Sorry pala. Simplify mo natin itong expression. Pwede naman, simplify natin to, itong numerator. That would be, ano itong numerator? Negative delta x, no? Negative delta x over 1 plus delta x all over delta x. Okay? Pero ang meron ka ditong expression ay a over b all over c, which is equal to, ano lang yan, no? A over b times reciprocal nito, 1 over c. So we get here a over bc. So ito yung a natin, ito yung b, ito yung c. So makukuha mo, negative delta x over 1 plus delta x times delta x. Okay? Ito yon. Tapos, limit problem to. Pag plinog-in mo si delta x as 0, ito 0 yung denominator. Ito 1 plus 0. So pwede mo i-cancel tong delta x. You get here, negative 1 over 1 plus delta x. Magka-cancel tong dalawang to. Pero as delta x approaches 0, ito mag-0 out, negative 1 over 1, we get negative 1. So, ano kagandahan ito? Ang tangent line natin, ang kanyang equation ay y minus 1 is equal to negative 1 times x minus 1. Okay? Okay na yan kahit hindi nyo muna i-simplify na yung y is equal to mx plus b. Sasabihin naman namin kung kailangan i-simplify in that form. Ano naman ang slope ng normal line? Slope ng normal line is negative reciprocal nito. It's negative reciprocal, so negative 1 over slope ng tangent line, negative 1. We get here 1. So we get y minus 1 is equal to 1 times x minus 1. Okay? And that's the slope of the normal line and the tangent line. Okay? Question muna so far? Di ba medyo matrabaho? Of course, ang gagawin natin mamaya, maghahanap tayo ng formula without resorting to this very long and hindi ba siya, actually tedious siya. Tedious method. Okay? In fact, pwede natin i-generalize ito. Hanapin natin yung formula ng slope ng tangent lines. Plural slope ng tangent lines dito sa function na to, hindi lang sa x is equal to 1. Sa kahit anong number except sa 0. Okay? X to 0. Kasi pag x equal to 0, mag-0 to. Huwag ganyan muna pahirapan ng sarili natin. Hanapin natin yung formula ng slope ng tangent lines. So what if x is equal to 2 ito, x is equal to 3, x is equal to 4, x is equal to negative 1. So we can compute that as follows. Okay. So that would be f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x as delta x approaches 0. Yung x dito, any arbitrary number na doon sa, sabi dito for any value of x. Pero for now, x not equal to 0 muna para madali. Okay? Pero pwede naman talaga x is equal to 0 dito. Although yung 0, hindi siya, no? Wala sa domain, no? Yun yung dahilan kung bakit pag tiningnan niyo yung definition dito, class, walang sinasabi about the domain. Ang sinasabi, defined on an open interval. Hindi domain yung ginamit. Okay. Pero, sige, ano muna, huwag muna tayo magpaka-technical. Solve natin to yung graph, yung slope ng tangent line. So it will be f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x. Ang f of x plus delta x, that would be 1 over x plus delta x minus 1 over x. Itong f of x ay 1 over x all over delta x. We simplify the numerator. Ang LCD natin ay x times x plus delta x. This LCD divided by this denominator, we get x times 1 with x minus pag x plus delta, this LCD divided by x, we get x plus delta x times 1, x plus delta x. Cancel to, makukuha natin ay negative delta x over x times x plus delta x all over delta x. Okay? So, we get this expression. Negative, sa numerator natin, negative delta x na lang, all over x multiplied by x plus delta x multiplied by delta x. Tatlo yan. Delta x times x plus delta x times x. So we get this expression here. And then cancel natin yung delta x. We are left with negative 1 over x plus delta x times x. As delta x approaches 0, mag-0 lang ito. So makukuha natin negative 1 over x squared. Yan yung formula ng mga slope. Okay? Yun yung term, formula of slopes of tangent lines. Kasi minsan, nakakalimutan sabihin ng mga students, sasabihin na nila formula of tangent lines. It's formula of slope of tangent line. Medyo mahaba siya sa dito. So, pag 1, nakita natin, kapag ang x mo equals sa 1, pag plinog in natin yung 1, you get there negative 1 over 1 squared, we get negative 1. Your answer natin kanina. Paano pag 2? Pag 2, we get negative 1 over 2 squared, we get negative 1 squared. So, ibig sabihin ito, at x is equal to 2, ito kasi ang graph ng 1 over x squared. At x is equal to 2, ang slope ng tangent line mo daw doon. Okay? Yan yung tangent line mo. Ang slope niya, negative 1 squared. And you can see from here, ano siya, it is falling, pababa yung graph, pababa yung tangent line. Okay? Okay naman? So, ayan, yan lang yung motivation behind it. Ito yung motivation behind sa concept ng ito yung gagamitin natin ito yung gagamitin natin motivation para ipakilala natin yung concept ng differentiation at ng derivative. Okay? Dito manggagaling yung historical motivation mula sa concept ng tangent line. Okay? So ang gagawin natin ngayon, dalawang idea. Number one, paano i-compute ito without resorting to itong mahabang limits na yan yung nakita natin. And number two, ano ba ang concept talaga ng derivative? Yun, dalawa. So gagawin natin ngayon, ito lang i-consider natin. We'll ignore this part. Okay? Ignore natin to. Ito yung i-consider natin. Pero historically, pag dinefine ng tangent line, kasama ito ha. Pakialala, pag ang concept ng tangent line, kasama ito. Pero pag dinefine natin ang derivative, ito lang yung kinoconsider ito. So we now have the concept of the derivative. By the name of derivative na derive mo, meron kang original function, then you obtain a new function or you derive a new function. So in the previous example, we obtained a function that gives the slope of the tangent line to the graph of f at any value of x. This function is called the derivative of f. So it's another function, bagong function na naman yan. So the derivative of the function f denoted by f prime of x is the function limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x as delta x approaches 0. So function to, we'll label this new function f prime of x. It is defined at all points x in the domain of f where the limit exists. Okay? So, ito na. Pinasok natin yung concept ng domain of f where the limit exists. So, kung the limit exists, so pag binalikan natin yung tangent line natin, ito ang definition ng tangent line, hindi na pwede itong dalawang to. Tatanggalin natin itong dalawang to sa definition ng derivative. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin ito mamaya, class? So, ibig sabihin, class, yung sinabi natin kanina, existence of tangent line if and only if either ito or ito. So, pwedeng limit exist, limit of slope exist, or limit of slope is equal to plus or minus infinity. So, geometry, ito calculus. Pero, ang kinonsider lang natin sa concept ng derivative, ito lang. Okay. So, ang ginagamit namin na pang true or false, ito lang yung derivative natin na derivative. Ang ginagamit namin sa true or false, kapag hindi nag-exist yung derivative, if the derivative does not exist, wala na bang tangent line? Yun yun. So you get the idea, pag hindi na nag-exist ang derivative, wala na bang tangent line? The answer is false. Kasi nakita mo, ito yung minimimic nitong isa yung definition ng derivative. Pero nakita ninyo, the limit does not exist. Pero meron pa rin tangent line. So pwedeng may tangent line, wala kayong derivative. Okay? Ito lang yung part kasi ng may derivative. Ito lang, sa taas. Okay, so ibig sabihin, mas malaki ang pool of knowledge ng geometry kaysa sa calculus. Kumbaga yung calculus, pang-measure lang siya ng geometry. Pero may mga concept sa geometry na hindi nakaka-capture ng calculus. That's why we discover or invent new mathematics para ma-capture yung ibang concept ng geometry. So again, hindi ibig sabihin kapag wala ka ng derivative, wala ka ng tangent line. Kumbaga, yung tangent line, nag-e-exist siya. Wala siyang pakialam kung hindi nag-e-exist yung limit na yan. O, yun yung sinasabi niya. Kasi kumbaga, inimbento lang ni na Isaac Newton yung derivative. Wala siyang pakialam. Basta, nandyan pa rin siya, nakalutang pa rin akong tangent line ako. You don't say, ano yung tawag dito? Hindi mo vina-validate ang existence ko dahil hindi ka lang nag-e-exist. Gets yung drama ng ganun. Nag-e-exist yung tangent line, pero yung derivative na hindi nag-e-exist. But the tangent line doesn't care. Okay? So, okay. Less of a drama. Let's go kung ano yung sinasabi nito. Paano i-compute ito without resorting to definition? Okay. Ito muna. May mga remarks muna tayo dito. Kasi may bago tayong function. There may be points x naught in the domain of f where f prime of x naught does not exist. So, mas maliit ang domain ni f prime kaysa sa domain f. We will see later on yon pag nagko-compute tayo. Mas maliit talaga ang domain ni f prime sa domain ni f. Pangalawa, the definition tells us that f prime of x naught is the slope of the tangent line to the graph of the function at the point P with coordinates x naught, comma f of x naught. Okay? So again, ito, slope of the tangent line. Kapag nag-exist. Pero kapag infinity nga yun, okay, pag infinity, nag-exist pa yung tangent line. Pero hindi na nag-exist ito. Okay? Now, to get the derivative of f at x equal to x naught, we either use this definition, at yung familiar tayo kanina, or alternatively, by setting delta x equal to x minus x naught. So, pag ginawa mo tong x naught plus x minus x naught in delta x, magka-cancel tong x naught tsaka x naught. We get f of x minus f of x naught over x minus x naught as x approaches x naught. So, dalawang definition ang pwede natin gamitin. Either ito or ito. Okay? Usually, ito yung fixed number, x naught. Itong x, variable to. Other notations for the derivative is y prime if you're given y is equal to f of x. So ito, f, pag nilagay mo ito ng prime, gagawin mo itong y prime. Other other notation, dy over dx, or d of f of x over dx. And then, this is the Leibniz notation ang tawag dito. Leibniz notation, the derivative of f of x with respect to x. So, a little historical background. Si Leibniz yung isa sa mga, what's the term? Ni kalaban. Opponent ni Isaac Newton as the founder of calculus. So si Newton, English, si Leibniz, German or Prussian? Nakalimutan ko kung German or Prussian. German pa siya. So, independent nilang na-discover ang calculus. Pero naglaban, ang ano na lang ngayon, ang consensus ngayon ng mga historian at ng mga mathematician, pareho na lang silang co-founder. So, para walang ano, walang masyadong conflict. Parehong founder na lang sila. Kasi na-discover ng isa dito, na-discover ng isa. Hindi naman sila nagkopyahan. Hindi, pareho na lang. Okay. So the process of computing the derivative is called differentiation. And we will explain soon kung bakit differentiation ang tawag sa process of computing the derivative. Okay? Ano yung kinalaman niya sa concept ng difference? Again, gagamitin natin dito yung concept ng tangent line para ma-explain natin kung bakit differentiation ang pangalan. Okay. Halimbawa, find the derivative of f of x equal to square root of x. So, ano ang domain muna ng square root of x? Domain of square root of x is 0 to positive infinity. 0 included. Okay? So, isolve natin ang derivative ng square root of x. So, it would be f prime of x is equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x. Ano itong x plus delta x? That would be root of x plus delta x minus square root of x over delta x. And then your favorite part, plug in. So makuha mo square root of x plus 0 minus square root of x over 0. So we get square root of x minus square root of x over 0, 0 over 0. So how do we remedy this problem? I-rationalize natin. Pag ni-rationalize, we get here, ipang multiply natin ay square root of x plus delta x plus square root of x over square root of x plus delta x plus square root of x. So this two numerator, ito kasi yung gusto mong mawala. So mangyayari niyan, square nito, yun, minus square nito, minus x. Tapos yung denominator mo, iwan mo lang yan as is, delta x. It's this. And then simplify mo to, sino yung magka-cancel? X tsaka negative x. So we get delta x lang. May delta x ka dito, tapos may delta x ka sa ilalim. Pero kasi si delta x, nag-approach pa lang ng 0. Pwede mo siya i-cancel out. So we get 1 over square root of x plus delta x plus square root of x. As delta x approaches 0, mawawala to. So we get 1 over square root of x plus square root of x. So we get 1 over 2 square root of x. So we get here, f prime of x is equal to 1 over 2 square root of x, or the derivative of square root of x with respect to x, ay 1 over 2 square root of x. Now, ano ang domain nito, class? Ang domain ngayon nito ay 0 to infinity. Yung 0, hindi nakasama. And you can note, you see here, ang domain nito, 0 to infinity, kasama si 0. Pero ang domain nito, hindi nakasama si 0. So mas malaki talaga ang domain ng f kaysa sa domain ng f prime. Okay? And furthermore, please, for the love of everything in this universe, paki-memorize na ang derivative ng square root of x. That would be 1 over 2 square root of x. You will use this hanggang graduate kayo ng Manila. Okay, paulit-ulit na lalabas itong square root of x. Kasi isa ito sa mga prototype ng mga functions. So, kumbaga, foundation siya ng mga function. Kumbaga, isa sa mga foundation ng function. So, magandang may memorize na kayong formula ng derivative. Kasi paulit-ulit na lumalabas itong function na ito, square root of x. So, might as well memorize this 1 over 2 square root of x. Madali lang siya i-memorize. 1 over 2 square root of x. Okay? Forever, paki-memorize na yan. Madali lang i-memorize. Next, ano yung mga formula? Ayan na. So pansinin niyo, so far, kinocompute pa rin natin ang derivative using definition. So we now have the following formulas. So first, let f and g be functions and c be a real number. If f is a constant function, then f prime of x is 0. Meron ba ako dito? No? Let me check. Okay, wala. If f of x equal to c, constant, then f prime of x is equal to 0. Constant function, 0. So, dalawa ang pwedeng motivation dito. Ano graph niya? Ang graph ng constant function ay horizontal line. So, ano ba ang graph? Kung ito ang graph nito, rise over run, ito yung run natin, nagbabago. So, x1 minus x naught. Pero yung mga y value nila, constant lang. Ang x naught, c ang value niya. Ang x1, ang y value niya, c. So, c minus c is equal to 0 over x1 minus x naught. So, ito ay 0 talaga. Another way is you can use the definition. F of x naught plus delta x minus f of x naught over delta x. Limit as delta x approaches 0. So we get here limit of ano ba ang x naught plus delta x? C lang. So c minus c over delta x as delta x approaches 0. Ang numerator mo nag-0 na. Yung denominator mo mag-0 pa lang. So dahil 0 na yung numerator mo, 0 na lahat ito. So that's why f prime of x is 0. Pag constant, 0 ang derivative. Then you have your famous power rule. If f of x is equal to the polynomial x to the n is a rational number. So pwede itong 1 half, pwede yung -1, pwede yung 3 halves. Rational number. Okay? I-generalize natin to soon sa mga x to the power square root of 2. Soon yon. Pero for now, rational number na. Then f prime of x is equal to n times x to the power n minus 1. Bababa si n, and then multiply, then yung babawasan natin ng 1, yung power n minus 1. So halimbawa, square root of x, that would be x to the power 1 half. Ano derivative niya? Diba? Yung 1 half, 1 half x, 1 half minus 1. So 1 half x, 1 half minus 1, negative 1 half. Pero pwede mo siya isulat ngayon as 1 over 2 x to the power 1 half. Or that is 1 over 2 square root of x. So that's it. So parang hindi ka dinederive, mas madaling i-memorize yung 1 over 2 square root of x. Number 3, kapag meron tayong yung function mo, it is constant times another function, then ang derivative natin ay lalabas mo lang yung constant, i-multiply mo ng derivative. So, parang sa limit lang, pag may constant kang naka-multiply, labas mo lang yung constant. If g prime of x exists. So, yung constant, hindi na-apektuhan yung derivative. Okay, then we have the sum rule. Sum rule is, or sum and difference rule, if h of x is equal to f of x plus or minus g of x, then ang derivative natin, kinukuha lang natin yung derivative ng f prime plus or minus g prime, provided both f prime and g prime exist. Okay? So, derivative nito plus or minus derivative nun. Okay, so madali pa. And then we now go yung familiar, kung naalala tayo, product rule and quotient rule. Okay, iba na ito ha, hindi na ito katulad ng limits natin. Kasi nung nag-limit tayo, limit ng product, ay equal sa limit ng f times limit ng g. Kumbaga, dinidistribute mo na yung limit sa bawat factors. Pero dito, iba na. Pag product rule, f of x times g of x yung function mo. Then, ang derivative niya ay h prime of x is equal to derivative ng unang factor, f prime of x, copy the second factor, g of x, plus copy the first factor multiplied by the derivative of the second factor. Okay? Derivative, copy, plus copy, derivative. Provided f prime and g prime both exist. In fact, itong constant rule na ito, itong constant times function, is special rule lang siya nitong product rule. So if h of x is equal to c times g of x, we get here h prime of x is equal to derivative ng constant times g of x plus constant multiplied derivative of g of x. So ano ba derivative ng constant? 0 times g of x plus constant times g prime of x. Pero 0 times g of x, mawawala to. So matitira lang, constant times g prime of x. So ayun yun, nakuha natin ito. Okay? So yan ang product rule ha. And finally, the quotient rule. Kapag meron kayong f over g where g is not 0, then h prime of x is g of x times f prime of x minus f of x times g prime of x over g of x squared, where f prime and g prime both exist. So very mouthful ito, pero pinakamadali para maalala ito ay ito yung high, ito yung low. So kung familiar pa, ito yung low, the high. So low, derivative of high, minus high, derivative of low, over low squared. Okay? Low, the high, minus high, the low, over low squared. Hindi siya katulad ng limit, no? Dati pag nag-limit tayo ng quotient, limit lang ng numerator over limit ng denominator. But this time, iba na ang formula natin. Okay? So, please remember all these formulas well kasi ito yung magiging building blocks natin para mag-solve ng derivatives. In fact, ito yung paulit-ulit natin gagamitin. Tapos, ihahalo lang natin yung mga sum rule, product rule, quotient rule. Now, if you noticed here, may kulang pang isang operation, which is yung composition. We'll study that either sa Friday or mamaya. Tingnan natin. Anong oras na ba? Composition, wala pa. Okay? Baka, ano nga pala ito? Baka Friday. Okay. Let's have the first example. Consider the following examples. Ano ang derivative ng 5? Kaya constant ito, derivative niya ay 0. Okay. Ano ang derivative ng x to the power 5? Diba yung 5 times x to the power 5 minus 1, we get 5x to the power 4. That's it. Okay? Walang kaswet-swet. Ano lang talaga siya, applying the theorem. Hindi na natin kailangan gamitin yung limit of delta x equal to 0 of f of x with delta x. Hindi na. Ito na yun, gumagamit tayo ng formula. How about derivative of 1 over x squared? Well, we can write 1 over x squared as x to the power negative 2. So, bababa negative 2, negative 2, x to the power negative 2 minus 1, that will become negative 3. So, we can write it as negative 2 over x to the power 3. Okay? Minsan, sabihin namin kung okay na ito. Minsan, sabihin namin kung dapat isulat ang ganito. Actually, soon you will realize kung kailangan yung isulat ang ganito or ganito. Magkakaroon kayo ng intuition kung kailan nyo kailangan gawin itong isang to o pwede nyo i-leave yan. You will have an intuition. Okay. Next, the derivative of 3x squared. So 3x squared, bababa yung 2, 3 times, yung 3 pala labas natin. Pero pwede man i-diretso, 2 times 3, 6x, 2 minus 1, that would be 2 minus 1, that would be 1 or 6x. Or pwede mo ilabas yung 3, 3 times derivative of x squared, that would be 2x. So 2x times 3, 6x. Pero yun nga, pwede maidiretso 2 times 3, 6. How about 2x to the power 5? 2x to the power 5, expand mo muna. You get here 32x to the power 5. And then, 32, constant to, labas mo. Then, derivative ng x to the power 5, that would be 5x to the power 4. Then, you simplify 32 times 5, 160 times x to the power 4. Now, notice here, hindi ang derivative dito ay hindi ito, no? Hindi mo ibababa yung 5, no? 5 times 2x to the power 4. So, makukuha mo dito ay 2 to the power 4, 16. 16 times 5, 80. Okay, magkaiba siya. Okay? Ito yung magiging topic natin baka sa Friday, kung paano isolve ito without resorting to expanding. Kasi what if ang meron ka dito ay 2x to the power 180. 2 to the power, mag-2 to 180 power pa. So, we'll find a way on how to solve this. Pero for now, i-expand mo siya. Okay? Now, let's look at sum rule. In sum rule, x squared plus 3x, ano derivative niya? So, kunin mo na yung derivative ng bawat term. So, derivative ng x squared, that would be 2x. Derivative ng 3x, ito yung ano, no? Ang technique dito, 3x to the power 1. 3x to the power 1, baba yung 1. 3 times 1, x to the power 1 minus 1. Ang 3 times 1, 3. X to the power 0. But x to the power 0 is 3 times 1. So, we get 3. Okay, so derivative ng 3x, 3. Ito namang 2x to the power 4 minus 4 over 5 squared of x plus 7. Well, we can write this one as, ayan na pala, 4, ano to, no? 4/5 square root of x. Okay? Ito pwede mo ilagay yan dito. Ito yung constant niya, 4/5. So we get here, 2x to the power 4 minus 4/5 square root of x plus 7. Ang derivative ng 2x to the power 4, 4 times 2, 8, x to the power 3, bumababa yung power, minus 4/5, constant ito, ano derivative ng square root of x? Ito yon, kaya maganda memorize nyo ito. Ang derivative ng square root of x ay 1 over 2 square root of x. Plus, ano derivative ng 7? Plus 0. Okay na yan kahit hindi nyo na isama. Sa mga exam, okay na kayo. Hindi nyo isama. Understood na yan 0. And then you simplify, we get 8x cubed minus 4 times 1. Ay, ito pala 4, 2 magka-cancel. So, mawawala ito. Magiging 2 to, no? 2 over 5 square root of x. Pero, dito pwede mo itong 2 gawin. Okay lang yan din. Kung hindi mo i-simplify, okay lang din. Kasi may mga instances na mahirap i-simplify na ito. Like, this one here. Product rule. You get here, ano ang derivative ng x minus 3 times 2x squared minus 3? Now, you have two options here. The first option, expand mo to. Pag in-expand mo yan, edi saka mo i-derivative yung bawat term. Pero, tatamad ka, edi mag-ano ka, derivative muna nung una. Ano ba derivative nung una? X minus 3. Ang derivative ng x minus 3, derivative ng x, so x, no? X to the power 1, so 1. X to the power 1 minus 1, we get 1. X to the 0, 1 times 1, 1. So 1 yon, 1. Ano derivative ng 3? 0. 1 minus 0. 1. And then copy the second factor, 2x squared minus 3, plus copy the first factor, x minus 3, and then derivative ng 2x squared minus 3. Ano derivative ng 2x squared minus 3? That would be 4x minus 0. So 4x. And then, usually happy na ako dyan. You don't need to simplify. Pero pag pinapasimplify sa inyo, wala talaga kayong choice, kaya simplify. The 1 times 2x squared minus 3, 2x squared minus 3, plus 4x squared minus 12x. Then simplify 2x squared plus 4x squared, 6x squared, minus 12x minus 3. But then again, I'm already happy with this one. Pero minsan may mga instances, kailangan mo talaga siya i-simplify. Instances naman. Okay, look at the second example. 3x to the power 5 plus 6x to the power 4 thirds minus 2 multiplied by 4x cubed minus 5 cube root of x. Again, di ba hindi ito masayang i, i-distribute. So, what we're going to do is get the use product rule. So, derivative nitong unang factor. Ano derivative ng unang factor? That would be 5 times 3, 15x to the power 4, plus, ano derivative nito? That would be 4 thirds times 6, x to the power 4 thirds minus 1. We get here 6 times 4, 24, divided by 3, 8x. 4 thirds minus 1. Ang technique dito, class, gawin mo 4 thirds minus 3 thirds. So, 3 over 3. Yan yung mga technique. O kaya kung ito ay x to the power 2 thirds minus 1, gawin mo x to the power 2 thirds minus 3 over 3. O kung ito ay x to the power 4 fifths minus 1, x to the power 4 fifths minus 5 over 5. Para madaling mag-subtract. So, 4 thirds minus 1 is equal to 4 thirds minus 3 over 3. We get 4 minus 3, 1 third. So, 8x to the power 1 third. So, derivative nito, ato minus 0, 0. You don't need to put that. Derivative nito, then kopyahin ito lahat, 4x third minus 5 cube root of x, plus, kopyahin yung first factor, multiplied by the derivative of this one here. So, ang derivative nito, 4x cubed, 3 times 4, 12, x squared, minus, pwede mo isulat ito as 5x to the power 1 third. So, 1 third times 5, 5 thirds, x to the power. So, x to the power 1 third minus 1, we get x to the power 1 third minus 3 over 3. So, 1 minus 3, minus 2, minus 2 thirds. And that's it. O, yan na. Hindi na madali itong i-simplify. Leave it as it is. Okay? Yan na yun. Huwag yun na i-simplify. Kasi baka minsan pa magkamali pag simplify. Okay? And of course, pagkatapos ng product rule, last example, quotient rule. So, pag nag-quotient rule tayo dito, okay, ano ginagawa ko dito? May isa pang example. So, suppose ito yung function mo, 2x to the 2x cubed minus 1 over x cubed plus 4 over 3x minus 5. Okay. So, pag ganito, low di high. Ganito mo gawin mo, isulat mo muna ito kasi may pasaway ka dito, no? Isulat mo siya as 2x cubed minus x to the power negative 3 plus 4. Yan. Para mas madali siyang ano, x to the power negative 3. Okay. So, low di high mo tayo. Low, kopyahin, derivative ng high. Ano derivative ng high? Ito ay 6x squared. Okay, 3 times 2, x squared. Tapos ano derivative dito? Negative x raised to negative 3. So, positive 3x raised to negative 4. Kasi negative 3 minus 1, negative 4. Plus, ano derivative ng 4? Was 0. Minus, low, second hilo ka. Low, derivative of high, minus high. High, copyahin yung high. Derivative ng low, ang derivative ng low? 3 minus 0. So, 3 all over 3x minus 5 squared. That's it. Don't simplify. Medyo mahirap yan. Okay? Medyo nakakapagod i-simplify yan. Again, we'll say kailangan i-simplify or may magkaka-intuition kayo kung kailangan i-simplify. Pero mabibuild up natin yun soon. Now, I think this next example, question ito ng last semester. What if tatlo na daw yung nakamultiply? X minus 5 times 3x plus 2 times 6 squared. Well, pag ganyan, pwede mo munang i-group kahit sino sa kanila. Pwedeng ito yung dalawa mong i-group. Pwedeng ito yung i-group mo. Kahit sino sa kanilang i-group mo. Ito naman commutative ang ano. Commutative and associative ang multiplication. So, pag ito yung gawin pong dalawa, so ito muna yung f mo, ito yung g mo, ito muna yung, ay sorry, pangit ang notation ko, f pala to. Ito yung g mo, ito yung h of x mo. So, sabihin mo, derivative mo nitong unang factor, derivative ng x minus 5, 1, copy this entire factor, plus, copy the first factor, x minus 5, multiplied by the derivative of this. 3x plus 2 times 6x plus derivative. Ano kukunin mo yung derivative ngayon ito? So, ano yung 3x plus 2? Derivative ng 3x plus 2, 3. Copy mo yung 6x squared plus, copy yung 3x plus 2, then derivative ng 6x squared, which is 12x. So, yun. Piece by piece mo talaga siyang gagawin. Ay, mahaba siya na process na. Okay? In fact, later on, nahanap tayo ng technique dito sa product rule at sa quotient rule without using, parang nahanap tayo ng alternative for product rule and quotient rule. Na, ang trabaho pala nila, no? May marabang technique na mas madali kayo sa kanila. Okay? We'll look for another technique para sa kanila. Okay, may question muna. Kaya pa? Madali pa naman. Kaya pa? Puro polynomial pa lang ito. Wala pa itong mga polynomial, rational, radical. Okay. Ayan na yung favorite natin. Derivatives of trigonometric functions. Okay, yan na. Ato, apart from square root of x, paki-memorize na itong mga susunod na functions na ito, yung derivative nila, okay? Derivatives ng mga trig function kasi sa Friday, baka yung mga hyperbolic na yung mga gagawin natin. May mga ditong tanong. Ask ko lang po bakit may term or idea may higher order derivatives. Later on, ano natin yan, bakit may higher order derivatives at ano ang gamit nila. May gamit yung mga higher order derivatives soon. So kung ang first derivative, slope ng tangent line, ano na naman ang second derivative? Yung mga, and so on and so forth. Okay? We will have those idea, ipapakilala natin sila mamaya. Okay. Ano muna ang derivatives of trig function? So we have here, we now present formulas for the derivatives of trig functions. Pakialala na to. Madali lang naman sila i-memorize. Derivative ng sine, cosine. Derivative ng cosine, negative sine. Derivative ng tangent, secant squared. Derivative ng cotangent, negative cosecant squared. Derivative ng secant x multiplied by tangent x. Derivative ng cosecant x ay negative cosecant x, cotangent x. Okay. Para madaling maalala, ang derivative, may kinalaman ito sa Pythagorean pair nila. Okay? Ayan na, Pythagorean pair. Di ba meron tayong natutunan last time? Either Pythagorean or reciprocal pair ka. Pag reciprocal, ang reciprocal ng sine, ito yung mga natutunan natin nung high school, reciprocal ng sine, cosecant. Reciprocal ng cosine, cosecant. Ay, sorry. Reciprocal ng cosine, secant. Reciprocal ng tangent, cotangent. Okay. So, ang Pythagorean pair, sine and cosine. Sila yon, Pythagorean pair. Ang Pythagorean pair, tangent and secant. Tangent and secant. Ang Pythagorean pair, cotangent and cosecant. Ayun na, cotangent and cosecant. So, kapag sine, ang derivative niya may kinalaman sa cosine. Ang derivative ni cosine may kinalaman sa sine. Okay? Now, paano nyo malalaman kung negative or positive? Kapag letter C nagsisimula, cosine, cotangent, cosecant, negative. Lahat negative. Pero pag hindi na yan, pag hindi na letter C ang simula, positive lahat yan. Okay? So, ang tangent at cotangent, pansin nyo, reciprocal sila ng isa't isa. Hawig yung nila, derivative. Ito secant squared, negative cosecant squared. Yung secant cosecant, parang sila, no, may pagka-partnership ng dalawang to. Yung si secant, secant x, tangent x. Si cosecant, negative cosecant, cotangent. Okay? So, yun yung mga, tandaan na kapag nagsimula sa letter C, negative. Okay? So, Merong time para ma-memorize to, i-memorize to kasi mas madali magsagot ng mga derivatives yun kapag memorize itong mga to. Okay? So, ito yung proof kung bakit ang derivative ng sin x ay cosine x. Madali lang siya. Madali lang daw. So we get here, derivative of sin x. We write it as sin x plus delta x minus sin x over delta x as delta x equal to 0. Okay. Naalala ba ito? Sin x plus delta x. Kasi meron ka ditong sin alpha plus beta from ano yun? From high school geometry. That would be, di ba, sin cos cosine, sin. Nag-aalisan yung mga tao bigla. Sin cos plus cos x sin. Okay? Sin cos cosine. Okay. Ano nangyari dito? Sin cos cosine. Hey, ito yung makukuha natin, sin cos cosine. Ito yung sa part na to, ayun. Tapos ang gagawin natin, etong sin x tsaka cosine delta x tsaka minus sin x. Pagkasamahin natin sa isang term. Sin x cosine delta x minus sin x plus cosine x times sin delta x over delta. Ayan na. At pagkasamahin natin sa isang term. Ito yun. Okay. Tapos, sa part na to, i-factor out natin yung negative sin x. Pag factor out natin yung negative sin x, matitira negative cosine delta x plus 1 plus itong part na to, cosine x sin delta x over delta x. Tapos, ano nangyari? We can write this part here as 1 minus cosine delta x. Commutative naman eh. Ang negative 1 plus 2 ay equal sa 2 minus 1. Okay. And then, kasi may sum ka rito, etong delta x, pwede ko i-distribute yan dito sa bawat term. So we now get negative sin x multiplied by 1 minus cosine delta x over delta x plus cosine x sin delta x over delta x. And then what do we do? Sa part na to, bakit ba nabawala? Sa part na ito, meron kang negative a times b over c. You can write it as negative a times b over c. Hindi i-distribute ang delta x sa sin x tsaka sa 1 over cosine delta x, ha? Naka-multiply na itong tatlong ito. So kumbaga, walang distributive property of division over multiplication, ha? So ito i-pair kong dalawa. Tapos dito, ito yung i-pair kong dalawa. Medyo naging hawig na. Pag ito yung ginawa ko, negative sin x times 1 over cosine delta x over delta x plus cosine x times cosine delta x over delta x. Naglilimit tayo as delta x approaches 0. Ano mangyayari? Ano limit nito, class, as delta x approaches 0? That would be yung familiar, no? 1. Ito naman, ano limit nito? O, yan yung application natin ng lesson last time. Ano limit nito as delta x approaches 0? 1 minus, di ba ito yung 0? So, mawawala to. So, matitira dito, cosine x times 1, you get cosine x. Hence, yun yung derivative ng sin x. Cosine x. Kaya kailangan natin yung concept ng squeeze theorem last week. Okay? Ayan. At least, convince kayo, hindi lang out of thin air natin kinukuha itong mga derivatives na ito. Okay, pero yan ang ipoprove natin. Yan ang ipoprove yung iba. It's more on application. Okay. So, let's see. Ano derivative ng 3 sine x minus 7 cosine x? So, 3 sine x minus 7 cosine x. Constant lang itong mga to. So, lalabas lang yung constant. 3. Ano derivative ng sine x? Cosine x. Minus 7. Constant lang ito. Ano derivative ng cosine x? Negative sine x. And then you simplify. 3 cosine x plus 7 sine x. Okay. How about the product of secant x cosecant x? So secant x, ano muna ang derivative ng secant x? Secant tangent. And then, copy the second factor, plus, copy the first factor, and then derivative ni cosecant x, derivative ni cosecant x, negative cosecant x, cotangent x. And okay lang yan, leave it as it is. Ito yung mga example na leave it as it is. Huwag yun na i-simplify. Now, what if we have cotangent x minus x over 1 plus tangent x? So, gagamit tayo ng quotient rule. So, low, 1 plus tangent x, low, derivative ng high. Anong high? So, cotangent x, ang derivative ng cotangent x ay negative cosecant squared x minus 1. Don't forget pressure parenthesis, ha? Laging may parenthesis lagi. If in doubt, lagay nyo ng parenthesis. Minus low, the high, minus high. Derivative of low ay, ang 1, derivative yan, 0, plus secant squared x over low squared. 1 plus tangent x squared. And that's it. No need to simplify. Okay? O, di ba? Kasi madali lang siya. Basta maalala lang ito. O, i-build natin yung ano ninyo. Yung, at, i-build natin yung capability ninyo na mag-derivative ng bilis. Okay. Ay, o nga to, paano daw, ano yung f prime of, paano daw yung f of x is equal to sine 2x? O pag ganyan, ang gagawin nyo muna, isulat mo muna siya as 2 sine x, cosine x. We'll study this tomorrow or sa Friday kung ano yung madaling technique yung, kasi ito, kasi may, kumbaga meron kang function sa loob ng function. Katulad lang ito ng 2x to the power 5 kanina. May function ka sa loob ng function. Okay? Okay, now let's go to higher order derivatives. Now, kapag ang derivative kasi f prime, function din to. So, pwede mo kunin pa ang derivative ng first derivative, which is the second derivative. Pwede mo yung kunin ng derivative itong second derivative, which is the third derivative. May mga geometric implication or geometric interpretation ito mga to. Ang first derivative, yan ang slope of tangent line. Ang second derivative, as it turns out later on, pag-aaralan natin, ito yung tinatawag na concavity. Okay? Concavity of the graph. Okay? So, soon natin makikita yung mga, yung third derivative, I don't know kung anong ang kanyang interpretation. Pero pagdating natin sa Math 84, lahat sila magkakaroon ng F double prime, F triple prime, F to the power, ayan, nth derivative, magkakaroon sila ng not necessarily geometric interpretation, pero magkakaroon sila ng numerical interpretation, which is sa Math 84 natin sila ma-appreciate yung mga higher order derivatives talaga. At bakit sila naisila yung mga yun. Okay. So let's now talk about higher order derivatives. Now, for now, we'll use this terminology here. If f prime is differentiable, okay, i-explain natin yung bukas ng differentiable. Pero kanina, ang pinag-aaralan natin kanina, f is defined. So, kaya naging f prime is differentiable. We'll explain this tomorrow sa Friday. Ano ang differentiable? Then the derivative of f prime is called the second derivative of f and denoted f yon dalawa. We can continue to obtain third derivative, ito yung notation. The fourth derivative, ito ang notation. 4, tapos merong parenthesis na ganyan. And higher order derivatives. Okay. So the nth order derivative of a function, ang miss nalagyan na ng order na. Dulas na ako. The nth derivative or the nth order derivative of the function f, denoted by this notation, is the derivative of the n minus 1th derivative of f. That is, the nth derivative is the limit of the n minus 1. N minus 1th derivative at x plus delta x minus n minus 1 f of n minus 1 derivative of f at x all over delta x as delta x approaches 0. So, halimbawa, f double prime of x ay equal sa limit ng f prime of x plus delta x minus f prime of x over delta x as delta x approaches. So, parang dinederivative mo rin yung f double prime. ay yung f prime. But then again, panibagong function na naman ito. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ko panibagong function, yung rules natin ng paghahanap ng derivative, nag-a-apply din dito. Kumbaga, ang ide-derivative mo na yung f prime para makuha si f daw. So, we have the following remarks. So, the n in f to the power, nth derivative is called the order of the derivative. Order yung term natin ha, kasi pagdating natin sa Math 121.1, para hindi kayo mahilo, kunyari meron kang x cubed minus x squared plus 2x minus 1. Polynomial ito, no? Polynomial. Ang tawag natin dito, yung sa 3, x to the power 3, degree. Degree of the polynomial. Degree of the polynomial. Pero pag kinuha mo derivative, 3x squared, ito yung degree pa rin niya, degree, pero yung f prime, ang tawag natin sa prime, order na yun. Okay? Order yung first derivative, yung 2, ang tawag natin degree. Para ma-distinguish lang natin yung concept ng order of the derivative sa degree of a polynomial. Okay? So ito yung order of the derivative. Pangalawa, the derivative of a function f is also called the first derivative of f. So yung ginawa natin kanina, first derivative lang yon. Now, the original function can oftentimes be written as zeroth derivative of f. So yung original function, ito yun, zeroth derivative. Furthermore, hindi sinabi dito, ang domain of f, subset niya ang domain ng f prime. Subset naman nito ang domain ng f double prime. Subset nito ang domain ng f triple prime. So parang nagkakaroon ka ng ano, no? Magkakaroon ka ng nested subsets. Pinakamalaki yung subset ng domain ng f. So habang kinukuha mo ang derivative ng function, paliit ng paliit ng paliit ng paliit yung domain mo. Okay? Other notations for the nth derivative, it would be this notation, the Leibniz notation, derivative of f or the nth derivative of f with respect to x. Ang haba sabihin, no? The nth derivative of f with respect to x. Tapos itong notation na to, for some apparent reason, ito ay sloppy notation ng mga mathematician. The nth derivative of y over dx. Yung n nasa x, yung n dito nasa d. Wala yung n sa y nandito. Some sloppy notation ito. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit. It would be the nth derivative, parang sinasabi nito, nth derivative ng f of x. Etong f of x, ito yung y. Tapos yung n, dinistribute lang sa d, ito yon. So makukuha mo dn over dn xn of x. Cancel yung n, cancel yung n. dn over dxn. Wala, yun yung pagka-sloppy lang ng notation na yan. Times y. So, pakiano lang, alala yung sloppy notation. Ito minsan kasi ginagamit natin notation. So, kapag second derivative, ganyan sinusulat yung second derivative. Or y to the order. Pero ito yung usual na ginagamit itong dalawang ito. Okay? So, let's look at some examples. Patapos tayo action. Okay? So, find the derivative of, so find the nth derivative of x to the power 6 minus x to the power 4 minus 3x cubed is 2x squared minus 4. So, we differentiate repeatedly and obtain. So, ang first derivative, baba yung 6, 6x to the power 5 minus 4x cubed minus 9x squared plus 4x minus 0. Okay. Second derivative, ito ide-derivative natin. 5 times 6, 30, x to the power 4 minus 4 times 3, 12, x squared minus 9 times 2, 18x is 4. Third derivative, 104 times 30, 120, x cubed minus 24x minus 18 plus 0. Fourth derivative, 3 times 120 is 60, x squared minus 24, at 24 lang pala ba ng x, minus 0. Fifth derivative, 2 times 360, 720x minus 0. 6th derivative, 720. 7th derivative, 0. 8th derivative, 0. Ano derivative ng 0? 0. 9th derivative, 0. So, ano sinasabi? Pag nasa ang degree mo ay 7 pataas, 0 na ang derivative mo. Namamatay. So, actually, isa ito sa mga properties ng polynomial. Ito yung order, ito yung degree ng, ito yung degree ng derivative, ito yung, ay baliktad, ito yung order ng derivative, ito yung degree ng polynomial. Ang sinasabi, pag lumagpas ka na sa degree ng polynomial, ito yung order, pag lumagpas ka na sa degree ng polynomial, 0 ka na. Namamatay na yung polynomial mo. Okay? Ito yung isang property ng polynomial na maganda, which we will take advantage soon sa before third exam. Tsaka lalo na natin ito take advantage pagdating natin sa math before. Kaya polynomial ang pinakamagandang pag-aralan ng function kasi namamatay lagi ang mga polynomials. Okay? At maang gusto natin yung mga namamatay, no? Madali na kasi siyang, ano yun, kumbaga, madaling mag, madaling mag-evaluate dito. Kunyari, f to the 7x. Pag nag-evaluate ka dyan ng 5, ano ba? 0 kasi namatay na. Okay? Unlike ng sin x. Let's have this last example. Find the seventh derivative of x, where f of x is sin x. So, maghanap tayo ng pattern. Hindi ito, kaya ito yung mga misbehaving function. So, ano yung zeroth derivative natin? The original function, sin x. Anong first derivative? Cosine x. Second derivative. So, derivative ng cosine, negative sine. Third derivative. So, derivative ng sine, cosine. Pero may negative ka, copy that one. Ano naman ang fourth derivative? Fourth derivative nito, negative of negative sine x. So, fourth derivative is sine x. Ano fifth derivative? Derivative ni sine x, cosine x. Derivative ni cosine x, negative sine x. Derivative ni negative sine x, negative cosine x. Eighth derivative, negative cosine x. Derivative niya sine x. So you get a pattern. Pare-pareho ito. Sine, 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 cosine, 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 negative sine, negative sine. Pare-pareho. Nag-flip lang siya. Okay? So ano na makikita nating pattern? Actually, ito yung mga gatong function. Ito yung mga hindi namamatay pag dinederivative. So we get this pattern here. Ang nth derivative natin ay sine x or cosine x, yeah, or cosine x or negative sine x or negative cosine x depending on the order of the derivative. So, kapag ang sorry, ay baba. Kapag ang n mo ay multiple ni 4, 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, pag multiple ni 4, it's sine x. Pero kapag ang nandito mo 1, 5, 9, ano ibig sabihin yun? Pag dinivide mo si 4, pag dinivide mo itong order, okay, the order by 4 at nakuha mo ay remainder 1, okay, so halimbawa 5 divided by 4, we get 1, 4, 1. Ito yung remainder natin, 1. Ito, 9. 9 divided by 4, 2, 8, 1. Pag ang remainder mo ay 1, ang derivative mo cosine. Pag ang remainder mo naman, dinivide itong degree by 4, laging 4, no? Ang nakuha mong remainder ay 2, halimbawa 10. 10 divided by 4, 2 times 4, 8, 2. 2 ang remainder. 6 divided by 4, 1, 4, 2. Ang derivative negative sine x. Finally, itong third derivative, seventh derivative, 11th derivative, negative cosine x. Pag dinivide mo yung order by 4, at ang nakuha mong remainder ay 3, ang derivative ay negative cosines. Okay? Now, I don't expect you to memorize this, pero at least alam niyo yung pattern. Usually, ito yung ginagamit ng mga techniques para mahanap yung mga derivatives sa mga higher order ng dito mga ganitong function. May kinalaman sa mga remainders. And you wanna get technical, ito yung may mga kinalaman, ito yung term nila doon, modulo. Pero don't worry, we will not delve too deeply sa idea na yan. Pero at least you get a pattern kung paano maghanap ng higher order derivatives. So, for now, ang gusto ko lang malaman dito is marunong kayo mag-derivative. Okay? Marunong kayo mag-derivative. Ano yung motivation behind derivatives or differentiation? Ano yung geometric interpretation niya at paano mag-solve ng higher order derivatives. Yun yung take away natin dito. Pero yung itong mga, medyo ano na to, advanced ng konti. Okay na kahit hindi nyo siya. Okay, may questions? On example. Papadala ko pa. Okay, with that, thank you very much. Sa Friday, ang pag-uusapan natin, ano naman yung derivative? Kasi napansin nyo may quotient rule, product rule, pero wala pa yung composition. Doon na papasok yung concept ng tinatawag na chain rule. Okay? Medyo nakakahilo itong isang to, chain rule. And i-define din natin ano ba yung sinabi rito na f prime is differentiable. Nagbigay lang ng bagong adjective na naman, no? F prime is differentiable. We will discuss ano ibig sabihin ng differentiable sa friend. Okay? Thank you very much for attending. May tanong? Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. See you all on Friday. Thank you. Ingat kayo ha.